All right, the Seattle Seahawks make another huge move. If you're new to the channel, we're Detroit Lions fans, but this channel fully dedicated to teams that just get overlooked by the national media. Seahawks, one of those teams, and we've been on them for a couple years now. Just I don't want to say we're fans of them, but we like them and really like to see them do well. And we're up here in Michigan too, so you've got one of the former Michigan defensive coordinators as your head coach now, so it's just fun to watch. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't. So here's the moves. Well, first of all, go back into the middle of the season when you make the trade for Ernest Jones, completely flip over your defense. Now the defense is good. Now you do the same thing this offseason with the offense. We're going to get to a couple moves. The big one, of course, is Clint Kubiak, and we're going to talk about it and why this is so important, because you hire Clint Kubiak to be your offensive coordinator, and immediately you don't waste any time. And that's what I love about this. You interviewed, let's look at it here. Hire Clint Kubiak. You had interviewed Hank Fraley from the Lions, the Vikings assistant offensive assistant OC and assistant quarterback coach. But ultimately you decide on Kubiak, and he's 37 years old. He's been with the Saints, the Vikings, the Broncos. What I like about him is he's had different types of quarterbacks. He's had running quarterbacks, kind of athletic guys. He's had Taysom Hill, where he was scheming up plays for him. He's had really good running backs. So he's kind of done it all, and this is really good because Kubiak called plays for the Denver Broncos in the second half of the 2022 season under Nathaniel Hackett. After Coach Nathaniel Hackett relinquished those duties. Remember how dumpster fire that was? Brutal. But remember, this is what gets me excited if I'm a fan of two things. Get me really excited if I'm a fan of the Seahawks. The Saints offense came unglued, shockingly unglued after like 6 games. I don't know what happened, but do you remember? It seemed like years ago, but last year, the beginning of last year, the Saints were on fire, just doing things left and right. Derek Carr is just like the greatest player ever. Then he gets hurt. It's like, whatever. But Chris Olave, I mean, they're running the ball. They're doing all kinds of stuff. And it's like, dude, this is crazy. So it's like, okay, that excites me. What was that? And then the second thing is look at the offensive struggles that the Seahawks had. 2 numbers that stick out. The Seahawks faced an average distance to gain of 7.9 yards on third down. So on average, it was 3rd and 8. At some point during the drive, you're just like, it's 3rd and 8. Brutal. You can't do that. I mean, so it's like, man, you know what? As a Seahawks fan or someone that watched the Seahawks, like it did seem like we were constantly in 3rd and long, constantly behind the chains. And that's hard to overcome. The other one, the Seahawks combined for a league-high 53 false starts and offensive holding penalties. They committed 28 false starts, 25 holding penalties, which was 3rd most in the league. So you combine them, it was the most, but you break the 2 categories up, 3rd most in the league on each category. So the Seahawks are sitting there saying, we won 10 games, rookie head coach, we fixed the defense, and here we are. We can't just get going. We're just stumbling around, and we still won 10 games. Let's just get under control, manage the game, stay ahead of the sticks, and this is what everyone's trying to do, so I'm not trying to minimize it like it's super easy, but let's just bring in a new voice. It's like, I don't need a hotshot offensive coordinator. I don't need these just revolutionary plays to be just thought up out of nowhere. I need guys to know what they're doing, keep the chains moving. Gino, use your feet a little bit just to keep the defense honest. Little read option, kind of sprint out to the right. Just all those things that kind of keep defenses guessing. Let's not have false starts, and let's not have holding penalties. And those holding penalties especially come from you're a step behind. You don't know where you're supposed to be. The offense isn't called correctly. That's where offense, it's not just like, I held, whoops. It's like, nope, I got a shot in on this gap. I wasn't ready. That's a bad design of plays, right? Some of that is definitely, just a guy beat me and I held him. But a lot of those are schemed incorrectly or didn't work out or whatever, right? So that's what a new offensive coordinator is going to do. And I like a young offensive coordinator, but has a lot of experience. So again, as a reminder, he's Gary Kubiak, the former head coach of the Texans and Broncos. It's his son. He coached with the Minnesota Vikings, the Denver Broncos, 49ers, Saints, and now Seahawks. And so when he was with the 49ers, he was the passing game coordinator, and they were the top 5 in passing game, and they're top 5 in all passing statistics. What Seattle wants is, can we run the ball? We have to be able to run the ball, and that will come personnel-wise as well. Like if you start looking at some of the mock drafts, it's pretty clear that Seattle's going to go heavy offensive line. Like, let's just get this thing fixed, right? Daniel Jeremiah's got, let's take a look at it here. So this is, pick number 1, offensive tackle guard is Membu out of Missouri. This dude's, oh my gosh, he's only 20 years old, 6'3", 320 pounds. Love it. That's it. What else do you need? So it's go trenches with the draft. Free agency wise, you've got guys like Kevin Zeitler, who's currently with the Lions. You could pony up for 1 year. He's like 36 years old. But it's like, look, we're going to do whatever it takes this offseason for this year, right? We're not thinking about the next 6 years. We're thinking for next year, we're going to get a guy like Kevin Zeitler that you can get on a 1-year deal, overpay for him, but it's 1 year. Who cares? You can get a couple guys in the draft. You can get free agents. Fix the offensive line, and let's do this. And by the way, man, all these former Seahawks coaches going all over the place to different teams. Of course, you've got, what's his name? Pete Carroll going to the Raiders, which, hey, Pete Carroll, you're 92 years old, but he acts like he's 50. So he always has. He has looked old since he was at USC. Like, I was like, oh, he's, 68 at USC? It's like, no, he was, I don't know. He's looked 68 for 29 years. And, man, Seahawks. Former Seahawk guy. I didn't realize he was with the Seahawks for so long either, now that I've, starting to see all that stuff. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Love this move. Think it's great. Change it up. Make it happen. Don't waste any time. And we'll see all of you on the next one.